Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here today, and I'm going to do a little product review on a cool product that we've come across. This is a battery powered air compressor, let's call it, but they call it an inflator. It's a simple, small, compact way to inflate a tire. Can't get any simpler than that. I first saw a product sort of like this. Chuck Marble had one that he used on his adventure around America with the Warhorse. And since that time, this company called Cycplus contacted me and asked me if I would review one of these products. So I bought one, and full disclosure, they refunded my money. So I guess technically we'll get paid for doing this, but I can tell you that after using it, everybody around here loves it, and so they're all kind of fighting over it to see who gets to keep it in their department. So I'm actually going to end up buying more of them. So I technically will be a purchasing consumer of these things. So they have different sizes and different models. I chose to just kind of buy the biggest one because I wanted to be able to use it on everything from a pickup truck tire to a bicycle tire, and in order to play with it and then test it. So they have them smaller than this. So if you're a cyclist and you don't want to carry CO2s and that kind of stuff, or a little manual pump, they have a smaller one that's easy enough to drop in your jersey pocket or tape to your bike if you're on an adventure ride somewhere. Because obviously, for the mountain bike, for instance, you get a puncture and you use your CO2 and it doesn't hold, or you don't get it reinflated in time, you're kind of dead in the water. But with this, you can actually do quite a bit of pumping. So it's a box that you plug in. It charges by USB-C. It's real, sleek and modern looking. USB-C port to charge it. You just screw it's got a long, usably long inflator hose. So very good for large motorcycles, or particularly where sometimes you have to get under them to get to a air fill port, like on a Honda Goldwing or maybe a Harley Dresser. Comes a little felt bag. It also does come with a little assortment of kind of the odds and ends inflator tips, like for a basketball or an air mattress, that kind of stuff. So if you're going to do that. A couple of specs about using it. It's pretty simple. Has a power button. You give it a long press to turn it on. And then it's got a plus and a minus. You're going to select, say, the pressure that you want to set a tire to. You just toggle up or down. If you hold the button down, it'll rapidly go up or rapidly go down. Apparently, it will go up to 150 psi. Most road bicycles would be 120 psi. Your motorcycles are going to be in that, cars are going to be in that 35 psi range. But you'll know your psi. You just select it, and once you start it, it will pump to that pressure and stop. So you don't need an air gauge, because this is its own air gauge, which makes this super slick. I really like that. Has another nice feature, which is a button you push, and it will activate an LED light. Because let's face it, you're not always going to be, tires you don't get a flat at the most convenient time a lot of times. So this, to be able to help you find a nozzle in the dark and screw on, that's pretty cool. So nice feature there. It has a mode button and units, so you can choose PSI or bar or kilopascals, whatever we are used to reading in the country you live in. And then it's pretty straightforward after that. So I'll show you here on this Honda Goldwing. Actually, I don't even know what this tire is inflated to, but we'll play with it just for fun. So this is an example of where the hose is really good, the length of the hose, and where the light will be useful. So I might turn this light on. That light's on. If you look in there, look how magically my valve stem's all lit up, so I can see what I'm doing. Even in the daylight, this is quite shadowy. Let's say that people on Goldwings aren't the youngest people. Maybe it's hard for them to see in the dark or in the shadows. So this little light is quite useful. You're just going to thread this guy on, and after this you use a short press on the power button. So long press turns the machine on or off, and then short press gets it going. All right, so this tire is actually wildly overinflated on this motorcycle. It has 44 pounds of air in it. So just for fun, so you can see it work, I'm gonna put it up to 50, just so you can see it run. Now let's pretend this tire had 30 pounds of air in it, and we were gonna add air to bring it up to a good pressure. So there it's reading what it has now at 44.5. I'm gonna push the button, and off it goes. Now, it'll just work. You don't have to stay laying on the ground. You don't have to, be crawling under the dirt. You don't have to hold it on like you would normally. So you can actually stand up. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm gonna let that run. While it inflates this tire, here's a little chart they give you. You wonder about the battery life. So these are from a dead flat tire. So if, say, you had a flat car tire and you put a plug in it or something in it, you can fill 2 to 3 car tires, 17-inch car tires, bicycle tires, 8 to 12. This is from totally flat. 12 to 18 mountain bike tires, 8 to 12 motorcycle tires, and 30 or 40 basketballs. It's a lot of basketballs. Again, for the most part, you might be topping your tire up. It's not always going to be, the flat is hopefully a rare occasion for you. And we'd let this thing run for a little while. It'll get warm, but nothing crazy. It does not even like a warm cup of coffee. So it has a little place where it cools itself there, I guess, where it's discharging air. So this sells for $49.95 on Amazon. And like I said, around here, we're fans, so we're going to end up buying a couple more. And I'll let you just watch. It's up to 49 PSI already. Obviously, the higher pressure you go, the harder it has to work. So the harder it works, the harder it'll pull down the battery. So you can fill more low-pressure tires at higher volume, like a mountain bike tire, because it's only going to go to 25 PSI than you can actually a road bike tire, which is smaller, but has to be inflated to 120 PSI. When it has to pump hard pressure, it'll drain the battery more. So that's all there is to it. A slick device. Got a nice carrying bag. You can easily stow it in your if you have a touring bike or you're going on some sort of an adventure ride. So take a look. They've got a handful of models for you to choose from, and just kind of find what would suit your available space for your bicycle, motorcycle, or a car. And like I said, you can throw this right in your pickup truck, wherever you want to have one. And it will do the job. So we've used it now for a month, and I wanted to kind of use it some before, we recommended it, but we're all pleased. So my name's Max. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget, you can subscribe, and I'll keep cool content like this coming.